look at your Annex 1A, the payment voucher that you have put there, it is not looking original. If you look at it, honorable members, it's not looking original, because my expectation would be the document would have been fully processed. If you look at, for example, on the examination part, voucher examination part, it is not filled at all. It is only AI order who has signed, but everyone else is empty. So maybe you can explain that.
Maybe Chair, may I allow me to take you to the third page after that, where you find the family bank account, which indicates clearly that that money was transferred to KRA on the strength of this voucher. It is highlighted 626,412 transferred on the 30th of January 2024. RTGS from County Assembly, Nyeri to Kenya Revenue Authority.
The one that is marked in, is it in green?
I think it is in some form of yellow. You know, I'm a man and we can't tell the colors properly.
That is fine, but you know, the vouchers that have been provided are largely incomplete. Even the second voucher of 259,000. It is
our accountant explains so that
through the governor, Chair, these are the third vouchers. We usually the accounting officer and the accountants are the ones who sign the voucher, but maybe in future we can be forwarding to the examination office.
not in future. That's supposed to be the process. I thought all vouchers go for examination. Maybe the auditor, you can guide us on this.
Thank you, Chair. It's a requirement that the payment voucher goes to examination, so that is why they start provision to confirm the accuracy, the pay, and so forth.
Through you, Chair.
Yes.
Maybe we can inquire then who is the accountant who was meant to have signed and did not sign, and is he here? Is he in good books with the ISPAC?
Through the governor, the accountant who assigned there, and I'm in good books with the ISPAC.
You know, accountant, what members want is where is a complete voucher. I'm sure before the payment was made, it goes through all these processes. So the complete voucher, because what we are saying here is not complete.
I have noted that, Chair, and I will ensure that it is done as it should. I think that was an oversight on their part.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe through the governor, I just want the fund manager to make something clear to me.
Yeah.
This amount is being paid from the executive, but the RTGS is being seen to come from the County Assembly of Nyeri. Why the mix-up? I thought they operate separate accounts.
Okay, through the governor, Chair, we usually bank with the County Assembly the same bank, so the bank made the error of narrating the County Assembly, and it's an issue that we wrote to the bank, and they say they are going to correct the error.
Chair, do you have that letter here?
We don't have it here, but we can request it.
And we note that this transaction happened on 31st January 2024. So the error has not been corrected. Maybe the auditor, did you pick that?
Thank you, Chair. The issue was the issue of variances, because you can see what was paid was not supported in the schedules when you look at our query.
So the auditor, the accountant through the governor, do you have the complete voucher for this?
Through
In
the
your
governor,
files? Yeah.
the original voucher also looks like this one, the copy.
See why I'm concerned is because the voucher did not go through examination, it did not go through internal audit, and important information like the vote head, sub-vote head is not included. And then it's not signed at the end. Any comment before I give a direction on this? So auditor, let me direct this. Auditor, now that you are doing, have you completed the audit or it's ongoing?
Chair, we have completed. We are now at the reporting stage.
You are at the reporting stage.
Yes.
I would like you to go and look at this matter afresh. So you look at the documents that are there and verify the transaction, the bank transaction, and advise us in the 2024-2025 report. But we have also seen an anomaly there, because how come the voucher was paid without going through all the stages? Mark?
Yeah, maybe Chair, the other aspect is to do with the penalties and charges for late payment, whether that was paid and whether that was charged on the account or as per PFM on the individual who failed to remit these taxes on time. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, accountant through the governor.
Through the governor, we only paid the principal amounts because as the time we were paying, there was an amnesty by KRA.
Now those issues you need to look at it, auditor. All those complete issues and come back to us. So I think we'll put this pending until we look at 2024-2025. So you can mark that, auditor. So let's go to the next item, which was budgeted interest income shortfall.
Thank you, Chair. Budgeted, the paragraph on budgeted interest income shortfall, the statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts reflects a reported final budget under interest income amounting to Kenya shillings 6,450,513 and actual amount of Kenya shillings 1,599,208, resulting to income shortfall of Kenya shillings 4,851,208, or about 75% of the budgeted interest income. In the circumstances, the budgeting of revenue income seems to have been unrealistic. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, the management response.
I will ask the Chief Officer to answer that.
Chair, through the Governor, our response is the fund had budgeted to disburse loan amounting to 230 million 4734, which could have yielded an interest income of 6,450,512, but only managed to disperse 70,600,000, earning an interest of 1.599208. This shortfall of interest income was occasioned by the non-disbursement of all the fund as anticipated. We anticipated to disburse 230 million, but we only disbursed 70,600,000, that yield 1.9. So the rest of the fund we never disbursed as at that particular time.
So what is happening? People are not coming forward to borrow.
So that time they have not applied. So later they have applied, now they have absorbed all the fund. So we'll have that interest income.
Auditor, your comments?
Thank you, Chair. This was the issue of budgetary performance and as a control. So, but as we will be able to confirm in the current audit whether they have absorbed the money as budgeted.
But maybe from the layman, you see now they budgeted, but did the fund receive that money? Did the fund receive the 230 million?
Maybe, Chair, without getting into a lot of jargon, this is common sense.
Yeah.
If we planned to disburse loans worth 230 million,
Yeah.
at a certain percentage, we expected to receive 6 million as interest. We didn't do that. People borrowed only up to 70 million. I think the issue should be, did we get the interest for the 70 million? Because that is where the issue should. The rest is neither here nor there. A budget is just a projection. So we just projected.
So the fact is that people did not come
They did not borrow, including
borrow.
myself. Yeah, and I was supposed to get almost 40, 50 million.
You must be a very rich
No,
man.
no. I learned to live within my means.
Okay, members. Members. Okay, if there is no any query there, we proceed to the last query, which is loans disbursed without mandatory documentation.
Thank you, Chair. The paragraph on loans disbursed without mandatory documentation, the report of the fund administrator stated that during the year under review, the fund disbursed a total of 16 loan applications amounting to Kenya shillings 70,600,000. However, loans amounting to Kenya shillings 21,200,000 were advanced without the required mandatory documents such as approvals, approved drawings, mortgage insurance, protection policy, and valuation reports. In the circumstances, the fund might be exposed to financial losses through non-recoverability of loans disbursed without adhering to the provisions defined in the regulations. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, your response?
Kindly.
Chair, through the Governor, our management response, all the loans disbursed were fully approved by the Fund Administration Committee via the minutes prescribed for audit as shown in Annex 3A, and these loans were disbursed, the 21.2 were disbursed to 5 officers as listed, and the supporting documents are provided in Annex 3B to Annex 3F. Further, as a means of ensuring that the county government does not suffer any financial loss due to non-repayment of loan, if any, the properties used as a security for the loan must be valued, and the amount to be disbursed must be of the same value or lower. Should there be any default in payment of loan, which may necessitate recovery of the funds, the regulations provide that the property used to secure the loan may be used to recover the funds through institution of legal proceedings, and this is these documents were attached the valuation reports, the title deeds, the logbooks for the car loans were attached in Annex 3B to Annex 3F. On the issue of insurance, the mortgage protection policy, which is against death and permanent disability, is maintained by the bank administering the fund, that is Family Bank, on behalf of the county government of Nyeri. This is as per the agreement between the bank and the county government as Annex 3G.
Auditor, your comments on the response?
Thank you, Chair. This was the issue of, though they have submitted the documents, but it is the issue of late submission or not provided during the audit.
So a question again, what about does it address your concern?
Chair, based on the documents also, we are not document experts, but they have provided the documents we didn't have, and as per the policy of the office, when the documents are provided after the audit, we don't accept.
Honorable members. This matter of late submission of documents really puts us in an awkward position, Governor, because when the audit is done and the documents are not given, and then suddenly they appear before us during this meeting, it becomes very difficult to know who is telling the truth. Is it yourself or the auditor? So I think moving forward, members, we would need to see a checklist that was processed then, whether what was requested by the auditor was given or not. Yeah, because it really puts us in a position where we are not auditors, so we cannot audit the documents that are given to us in this meeting. Number two, the law is very clear on this. Section 62 of the Public Audit Act on late submission of documents. So, like now the auditor is saying that he can't say much because the documents were given late. So I don't know, honorable members, this matter is one of the matters that we can push to the current audit to include it as an issue in the current audit. Governor?
Thank you very much, Chair. I really want to pick the direction you have given.
Yeah.
You know, we sometimes think auditors come from heaven. And we have a tendency of thinking that counties, for example, why would these documents appear today? They are there and available and they can see that they were stapled. Why don't they give you a schedule of what they received? Because we must also agree that audit is a process. It's not a one-time thing that they are going to get in and get everything. When there is an issue they raise, they get documents. There could have been a schedule given, but it must be built by both the two teams so that we never have this embarrassing moment where I'm producing documents and it is said they never received them. Why don't we have that, like you have given, a schedule that shows on our entry, we wanted this, we got this, we raised questions on this, we were provided with this, then it would be appearing there, and then I would have nowhere to run. But now, the documents are available, you have just found them. It is between you and me to know, because I wasn't in the audit, whether my office, you know, when I think we must agree on that, and that direction you have given would be the very, very best to support both yourselves and ourselves and even the auditors, so that this issue of someone thinking this did not happen. One other thing I must also plead, is that I do not know who told auditors that they must find mistakes. I don't know. The kind of training they have is that even if you have done everything else that you do, they must come up with maybe the spelling was wrong. I mean, really, is this what we really want to do? When you look at what we have presented, objectively, are you convinced that a shilling is lost in Nyeri? I mean, that is what I think the audit should be. That is what is looking for. So, your guidance is very good, and it should also be from both parties, that when you come in, we know there is an audit. I know it is our burden, because it's us who are being burdened to provide every document. But these documents are documents that have been run over a year, and it is possible, as the human beings we are, somebody will bring this and leave that. But there should be that schedule now before you, and where you say, okay, you said you didn't receive this, I can see it on the schedule. Because I do not know, Chair, if you have had the opportunity of getting into a room where the auditors are. You don't see them behind documents. When they land in an office, they are brought maybe in here, there are files and everything. A document could get lost in that process. But I agree from our end, and I think this is a direction you have given which is correct. Every document that goes there should be forwarded with a signature that I have received this, so that we are able to move. So that we stop casting aspersions on them or ourselves or our officers, so that everything is done fairly. Chair, thank you very much.
Maybe, Chair, with the permission of the governor and through the governor and your permission, this is a matter that I've always demanded as a CC Finance. And I think we have engaged with the audit office and said, let's have a checklist that is signed by both by the auditor and our accountants or whoever the submitter of the document should be. That has not come to fruition. So I'm happy that you have taken that route, because that gap will be filled. To add on to this particular fund, the securities that have been given against the loans borrowed are deposited in another bank, that is Cooperative Bank, just to reduce the risks. So it will be another process for us to write to the bank and call for these documents. And maybe the auditors are asking for these documents to at the end. But the security is, the position is all these security documents are already in a bank as a security within a different account and within a different bank. So not any loan was advanced or given without securities. So I think it's just that misunderstanding between the auditors and our office on timelines and that checklist. So I'm happy that you're giving that direction, because we shall now see where the gap will be going forward. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want it to be a back and forth thing between us. The auditors are actually, although they are independent, but in this kind of arrangement, they are like our technical arm for this committee. So if there are any other issues, we will discuss it internally. But let me give the chance to Mark.
Thank you very much, Chair. It's important to note that the audit process is well documented and in fact is provided in the Public Audit Act. The very start, the very initial stage of an audit is that we do a letter indicating to the client that we'll be arriving on a particular date, and we also give them a letter of understanding which also indicates the documents that we'll be requiring. In the course of the audit, Chair, we make requests for documents that we need, and which, if not provided, then this issue comes up in the management letter, minutes of which are provided, which are there documented in the file. During the management exit meeting, we further raise the issues of what we may need. Whatever has not been provided, Chair, then goes to the management letter, which gives the client another opportunity to respond and provide documents. When that is not provided in management letter, Chair, we also do what we call the draft report, which is now another opportunity for the client, telling them, this is how the report will look like, and these are the queries that we have raised. We give them another opportunity to provide these documents. When they fail to do that, then that's when it appears in the audit report. So, Chair, the client has several opportunities to provide these documents, and it's only at the final stage of certification that then we report as indicated. Chair, I also wish to point out that as auditors, our role is to do financial and compliance audit. Chair, you can confirm that there were 2 reports of the county that we found no fault in the financial statements, and we issued an unqualified opinion. So, Your Excellency the Governor, where things are okay, we point out and we give unqualified opinion. But where there is non-compliance with the law, Chair, it's an obligation under the Constitution for us to report to this committee where there was a failure to comply with any sections of the law. Thank you, Chair.
You see, I don't, as I said, if we have any issues, we will discuss internally. But I think, Governor, what needs to be done is the process of audit should be one of the very important activity in the county, where even your key officers must take the lead, so to ensure that all the documents that are requested are provided to the auditor, and that the entire process is managed. Because in most counties, what we have seen, you find that some of the audit queries may arise out of just not taking the process seriously. Yeah. So I think that, to me, that would be the recommended way to do. I've seen some counties where they even give people like deputy governors the role to manage the process of the audit, because they seem to be having extra time on them. Or the CEC finance fully involved until the process is completed, so that we don't have those gaps. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, honorable members, so this one is an issue which we want you to verify again for 2024-2025 report. So let's proceed to the last report, which is County Enterprise Development Fund for the financial year 2024-2025. Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. The report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Nyeri County Enterprise Development Fund for 2024-2025 was a qualified report with 12 issues, out of which 5 were addressed, 7 remain unaddressed. So, Chair, the first issue was, it was not addressed, was non-performing loans.
Thank you, Chair. The overall opinion.
Just wait a moment. Honorable members, in our pre-meeting, we agreed that the main query here is non-performing loans, which we'll look at, and then the other queries which are related to this, issues of failure to levy penalties, issues of unvalued securities, loans which were awarded without the board vetting. So I think, auditors, you read, let us just combine those issues at once. So in reading the query, you may need to read all the queries I've mentioned, and then the response will be given after for each of those queries.
Thank you, Chair. Well guided. The overall opinion is qualified. Number 1, paragraph number 1, uninsured loans. The financial statements reflect Kenya shillings 33,230,159.
Wait a minute. Uninsured loans, I thought you said this is addressed.
This is where we have the sub-components of the other observations. They are under paragraph 1. Under 1, we have 5 observations, Chair.
And underperforming loans is where?
Yeah. It's under 1.1.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Uninsured loans. The financial statements reflects Kenya shillings 33,230,159 in respect of receivables from exchange transactions as disclosed in Note 13 for loans advanced by the fund. However, review of documents for insurance payments revealed that the insurance policy paid was valid for 1 year only, yet the loans disbursed were supposed to be repaid in 2 years as stated in the signed letter of offer. It was further noted that the letter of offer did not indicate that the insurance was supposed to be renewed on an annual basis, and there was no renewed insurance policies, indicating that the loans were uninsured for 1 year, exposing the fund to possible loss of funds in case beneficiaries passed on or experienced permanent and total disability, resulting in inability to repay the loans. In addition, the following observations were made. 1. Since the inception of the fund, 182 beneficiaries have received loans, out of which 12 loans carrying a total amount of Kenya shillings 4,600,000 were found to be non-performing, since the beneficiaries have never made any repayment to the fund since the time they were issued with the loans. 2. As per the loan agreements, the beneficiaries were supposed to repay the loans over a period of 24 months. Review of outstanding loans showed that a total of 83 beneficiaries who had outstanding loans amounting to Kenya shillings 11,795,231 as at 30th June 2024 had not cleared their loans over that period, meaning that the period stipulated in the signed contracts had lapsed and there was no addendum to the signed contracts granting the beneficiaries additional time to repay the loan. Yet, management have not recovered the loans from the securities held. 3. In the financial year under review, 41 beneficiaries were awarded loans amounting to Kenya shillings 16,350,000, out of which 19 beneficiaries who were awarded loans amounting to Kenya shillings 8 million were non-performing since they had not made monthly repayments for the last 90 days, and as per the guidelines issued by the CEC Finance, management was supposed to instruct auctioneers to repossess the securities. This raises doubt as to whether the vetting process of the beneficiaries in regard to their capacity to repay the loans was done thoroughly. 4. The loan statement showed that management did not charge penalties to the beneficiaries who failed to make payments as per the guidelines issued by the CEC Finance. 5. The loan statements of the beneficiaries showed that there were those who overpaid their balances, raising doubt as to whether the beneficiaries have access to their own statements showing the correct amount of outstanding balances. In the circumstances, the accuracy, completeness, and recoverability of the receivables from exchange transactions amount of Kenya shillings that 2,325,570 could not be confirmed.
Okay, so now proceed to the next query, which is unvalued loan securities.
Thank you, Chair.
And then you go to the last one, which is loans awarded without board vetting.
Thank you, Chair. Unvalued loan securities, loans totaling to Kenya shillings 16,350,000 were disbursed to 41 beneficiaries, out of which 34 loans amounting to Kenya shillings 13,450,000 were secured with land titles. However, no valuation report was provided to confirm value of the land. Therefore, it was not possible to confirm whether the management would be able to recover the outstanding loan amounts in case of default. In the circumstances, recoverability of the amount outstanding loans may not be possible in case of default, as the value of the land may not be commensurate to the amount of loan advanced. Therefore, the value of money is doubtful. Loans awarded without board vetting. The financial statements reflects receivables from exchange transactions balance of shillings 32,325,570 as disclosed in note 13. However, review of list of members recommended by the board for loan advances indicated that out of the 41 beneficiaries issued with loans in the year under review, there were 9 beneficiaries who were issued with loans amounting to Kenya shillings 3,700,000 were not among those vetted by the board, contrary to Section 25 of the Nyeri County Enterprise Development Fund Amendment Act of 2018, which requires details on the purpose for which the loan will be utilized and the capability of the beneficiaries to repay the loans be evaluated before approval. In the circumstances, management was in breach of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, I think we'll look at those queries. Now, Governor, maybe you can give us a management response.
Thank you very much.
Starting with the query, the first query, which has several components in it.
Correct, Chair.
Yeah.
Maybe just, I will allow the Chief Officer to take us through, but before that, I want to just give some facts. The minimum amount of money we can lend in this fund is 50,000, and the maximum is 500,000. Those are the figures we are talking about. We are not able to give beyond that. We give only 50 to 500,000. And then I will ask the Chief Officer to take us through each of the management responses. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Through the Governor, on the issue of unsecured loans, all loans issued under the fund are insured for a period of 2 years. However, the initial loan documentation provided by the insurer erroneously indicated a 1-year coverage period due to system error. The fund sought a clarification that the insurer agent who confirmed that all loans are insured covered for a period of 2 years, as you can see in Annex 1, where we sought a clarification through an email, and we got that clarification that you can see the highlighted part. Going to the other issue, Chair, through the Governor, the following observations were made. So I want to say, in our management transports, we said that the management has intensified efforts on all outstanding loans as detailed in our attached annexes. If you look at Annex 2, we have made phone calls. If you look at Annex 3, we have issued demand letters, and in particular to Scholastica Wamoyo, Francis Kingori Gekunju, Dennis Kariuki, Dongo, and Anthony Irongo in Annex 3. Repayment of outstanding loans identified in the past as non-performing Annex can be shown in Annex 4, that actually they have been able to start servicing them. We have also initiated legal action, Chair, through the Governor. If you look at Annex 5, we have already instructed the County Attorney to start that process, which he has already started, and pre-qualification of auctioneers. So this goes in a process. So the first one is as an SMS, as I have indicated. The second one is a demand letter. Then there is also the issue